Puss in Boots.
A long time ago, in a distant countryside, there lived a poor miller who had 3 sons. When the miller passed away, he left his eldest son the mill, his second son the donkey, and to the youngest son, he left only an old plain cat. At first, the youngest son felt disappointed, but the clever cat comforted his master and soon came up with a brilliant idea. The cat asked his master to buy him a sturdy pair of leather boots. Using the last of his coins, the young man bought the boots, and once the cat put them on, he looked far more confident and dignified. Now the cat was ready to do something great for his master. One day, the cat wandered into the woods and quickly caught a rabbit. He carefully prepared the rabbit and presented it to the king, saying that it was a gift from his master, the Marquis of Carabas. In truth, this grand title was something the cat had completely invented, but the king, pleased by the cat's politeness and the gift, gratefully accepted it. After that, the cat continued to hunt pheasants, partridges, and other game, bringing them as gifts to the king in the name of the Marquis of Carabas. Gradually, the king began to feel favor toward this mysterious Marquis, imagining him to be a wealthy and noble gentleman. Not long after, the cat took his master to a river and asked him to step into the water. As soon as his master entered, the cat ran ahead to the path where the king's carriage would soon pass. When he saw the king's carriage, he cried out loudly, "Help! My master, the Marquis of Carabas, has been robbed of his clothes by thieves." Hearing this, the king immediately sent his guards to fetch fine clothes, dressed the young man, and invited him into the royal carriage. The king's beautiful daughter, the princess, was also there, and when she saw the well-dressed and handsome young man, she fell in love at first sight. The clever cat didn't stop there. As the king's carriage approached fields of wheat and barley, the cat went ahead and warned the farmers, "When the king asks who owns these fields, tell him they belong to the Marquis of Carabas. If not, you will face grave consequences." Frightened by the cat's stern words, the farmers did as they were told. Sure enough, when the king asked the farmers whose lands these were, they all answered, "They belong to the Marquis of Carabas." The king was deeply impressed by the Marquis' supposed wealth, and began to wish that this young man could marry his daughter. Finally, the cat reached a grand castle ruled by a fearsome ogre who possessed magical powers. The cat flattered the ogre and cleverly led the conversation, then asked if the ogre could transform into a mighty lion. The ogre confidently turned into a lion, terrifying the cat. The cat pretended to be scared, then asked again, "How impressive! But can you also transform into something as small as a mouse?" The ogre laughed and quickly changed into a tiny mouse. And in that very moment, the cat pounced and ate him. With the ogre gone, the castle now belonged to the cat and his master. In the end, the king happily allowed the Marquis of Carabas to marry his beloved daughter. They held a grand wedding and lived happily ever after in the splendid castle. And the clever cat remained by his master's side, always as a loyal advisor and friend. This tale teaches us that wit, courage, and creative thinking can change one's destiny, even when one has little to begin with. It also reminds us that true friends stand by us in difficult times and help us grow together.
Did you enjoy today's story? Now it's time to go to Dreamland. See you again next time.